beautiful people, what's up and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you clicked on today's video. If you're returning, thank you for continuing to support and watch my videos. It means a lot to me. Today's video, I'm actually just going to share 3 very simple pantry ingredient recipes that I use all the time. So I get a lot of questions on Instagram and here in the YouTube comments of what I do during the weeks where I'm not doing an extreme grocery budget haul challenge. So just to get you a little caught up, my husband and I are on a financial freedom journey to become completely debt-free in the year 2021. We will do an update on that in the next month or so because we are about 6 months into our journey. We started in 2020 and then our goal was to be completely debt-free in 2021. But with that being said, I typically do a lot of extreme grocery budget challenges here for us in our home. It's just me and my husband. Sometimes I spend $15 a week on groceries, sometimes I spend $20, but our normal budget is $30 a week. So I thought I would just share some just off week meal ideas just to share with you what I usually make, because I thought it would be really fun just to be like, hey, these are typical meals that I make over and over and over that are super budget friendly. And you probably will have all the ingredients in your home currently right now in your pantry, fridge, and freezer. And if not, they're really accessible ingredients that you can get at your local grocery store, or you can substitute what I'm using for other items. Hopefully that makes sense. But there's nothing like so cemented down in these recipes that if you are missing an ingredient or have to swap for something, it will make or break the recipe. Personally, that's how I like to cook, with very basic, simple recipes that I can swap things out for, just because I don't want it to be so cut or dry that like if I'm missing an ingredient, the whole recipe is ruined. Also, just so you guys know or need reminded, I use very basic seasonings. I usually use salt, garlic salt, maybe a little bit of turmeric, maybe a little bit of chili powder. I don't know. I'm very basic when it comes to seasonings, but you can use whatever seasonings you like or that you have on hand in your house. I personally just think that I'm very simple, and it doesn't matter if my food is seasoned or not. It doesn't matter. Like, I like seasonings. I've come to the point where I really like seasonings. I like sauces, but maybe I'm just a lazy cook and I don't really care if it's seasoned or not. Like, I like food as it tastes as food with a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic, and I'm happy. So use any seasonings that you have. You can spice it up. That's the spice of life. So let's get started and I'll show you recipe number 1. I realized I forgot to show you the ingredients that were going in this lazy shepherd's pie, but it's frozen mixed vegetables, a can of stewed tomatoes, a can of corn, yes, corn and mixed veggies. Of course, I cook everything in water. I had some lentils, and then this is just bullion because I didn't have veggie broth and I wanted to add some additional flavor. And then I did add a little bit of garlic parsley salt to this. But I will always leave the recipes in the description box, so that way you guys can kind of take a peek of what I put into the recipe. But this is how I use leftovers. This is how I like to cook like beans and lentils ahead of time and then use them in meals for the week. But the reason it is a lazy shepherd's pie is because I had a bag of hash browns in the freezer from a while ago that we just weren't using fast enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use those for shepherd's pie. And honestly, I think I kind of like the hash browns a little bit more than mashed potatoes. Maybe it was just something different. I don't know. It was really good. But here you can see my simmering pot of goodness. And then I added some corn. And this does look really liquidy, but it was like the perfect amount of liquid. It does thicken up really nice in the oven. It also gave some moisture to the hash browns. And it was delicious. My husband loved this dinner. It was something really easy that we could put together because everything's pre-cooked. And then you just throw it in the oven for like, I think it was like 35 minutes until the hash browns are to your liking, because everything else is obviously just cooked. So you just have to make sure the hash browns are to your liking. And if you want it to cook faster, you could thaw your hash browns. I put them in frozen. So here is my shepherd's pie. And then I'm just sprinkling on a bunch of hash browns, and you can use as many as you would like. guys recognize it? It's chickpea salad. Super easy, super straightforward. You do need some kind of acid. I've been using apple cider vinegar, but you can use lemon juice or even lime juice if you want to. I always use some kind of mustard. I really like Dijon with this. A can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I do not drain these. I leave the juice in them just for extra nutrients. Literally the only reason I buy this is for chickpea salad. Like, this is the one seasoning I feel like I can't live without. Aren't you guys so proud? Hashtag just kidding. I will leave a recipe for this in the description box below. If you do not have a Trader Joe's near you, I found a mock recipe online. I haven't used it yet because I haven't found turmeric. I ordered some, it never showed up. So I'll leave a recipe down in the description box if you want to try to make this. Because like I said, I found a mock recipe online. And then a whole bunch of celery. So I'm gonna whip this up, and this is going to be lunch for the week. And then with this, I'll just put it on my homemade bread, which I'll also link that recipe down in the description box below. I know you all already knew what I was going to do prior to doing it, but you're just gonna take all your ingredients and put them in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you could mash your beans. They're really easy to mash, especially with a potato masher. Just put them in a large bowl. And then when it comes to vinegar and mustard and even this seasoning, I don't even measure it anymore because I've made this so many times, but I will put measurements in the description box below. But you can amp it up or tone it down a little bit. It's completely up to you. You can make this into a paste. You can make this chunky. You can do whatever you want. I think it's delicious. I make it so often, probably once every other week. Okay, last recipe here is, I think I've shared this multiple times on my channel before. You don't have to cook it in the Instant Pot if you don't want to. It's just what I prefer. So all you're gonna do is cook your rice. I already have pre-cooked beans. This is great for leftovers. There's maybe like 2 cups in there. Some taco seasoning, a red pepper or pepper of choice, and then half of a red onion or whatever onion of choice. So I'm just gonna cook my rice, chop my veggies, add the beans, taco seasoning, throw it all together, and bam. We have Taco Southwest rice. I thought it would be really fun to also share with you just my tiny pantry organization, what I do in my apartment. So you can kind of see in all of my videos, I have a very small kitchen. It's really nice. I feel like it's optimized for just me, my husband and I, the space that we have. I don't have an actual like pantry, like a walk-in pantry or a door pantry. All of my food is kept in my kitchen along with my appliances. And just yesterday, actually on Super Bowl Sunday, when we were tidying our house for the week, let me know in the comments below if you guys do this, but on Sunday, we spend an hour doing everything for the week, deep cleaning the whole house, and then we just have certain like tidy jobs that we do throughout the week. It makes our lives so easy. Anyways, so as I was cleaning my range and my stove and all the kitchen counters and everything, I was like, I think I'm just gonna spend about an hour organizing my pantry. My friends Mindy and Lauren have their own separate channels, and they both did pantry organization videos in the last couple weeks. And I had watched them yesterday morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm super inspired. So I took everything out of my cabinets, I wiped everything down, and then anything that was in a package that was partially used, I put into a recycled jar. And I shared with you guys on Instagram how I recycled my jars. I've been saving them for a little over a year, and I only had about 17 or 18 jars, not that many, but I don't buy that many things in jars. But I've been recycling them for a little while, washing them out, and then I peeled off the labels. And all you have to do for the labels is put them in a warm mixing bowl or bucket of water with about a tablespoon of Dawn dish soap. You let them sit for about an hour. The labels peel right off. And if the labels don't peel off, if they're a little bit sticky, you just have to take like a piece of steel wool or a scrubbing pad and just scrub it right off. It's perfection every single time. My jars look like I bought them. So don't buy jars ever, ever, ever. Just reuse the ones that you purchase from the store. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So I didn't film any of that. I actually just kind of got into the zone and just did my whole kitchen, and I was so happy with how it turned out. So I just want to show that to you, just to show you how I optimize my tiny kitchen, maybe give you guys some ideas, maybe inspire you to reuse a couple jars. But I know a lot of you are curious because you share with me in the comments, you know, what I do for emergency food backup, where I store my food, you know, all that sort of stuff, because you do see that I do a lot of extreme grocery budget challenges, and you always ask, is that all the food you have on hand? So I will say is we are very minimal in our lifestyle. I don't personally love to have a lot of food on hand, and I'll walk you through everything like I said, but a lot of you have suggested in the comments to, you know, have a box of food in a closet, or to make a closet, a pantry, buy bulk items like bulk pasta, rice, beans, etc. That is a wonderful, wonderful idea, and I know someone out there can really use that tip. I am someone who's just very OCD, and I don't want food in my closet. Hopefully that makes sense. I want my guest room to be my guest room. I want my guest closet to be, you know, not a food pantry. Same with all the other areas in my house. I'm just a little bit OCD for that. So I want my food to be in my kitchen. But it's a wonderful idea if you're someone who wants emergency food. You know, 2020 taught us a lot. I do have a little bit of food on hand. It's not like I'm completely without. But just for me, that's just not how I work well. It would kind of make me anxious to have food in a closet. I know that's weird. Just accept it. We'll move on. But I do want to say thank you so much for those suggestions, because I have had people reach out to me or comment back and say, hey, that's a great idea. I started doing this, or hey, I saw this comment on a video and I started doing this. So all your suggestions are welcome. Just know for me, this works for me and how I do things. I like to have very, very minimal amount of things. And I'm happy just having a tiny little bit of backup food, because I'm just not that worried about it. So come on, let me show you my pantry tour, and you'll just see how I optimize my tiny kitchen. I thought I would also quickly share with you just my pantry situation. This right here is my whole pantry, and then a little bit down here. Now my kitchen is very small. I have these 4 cabinets. That drawer is like a miscellaneous drawer. Over here I have like silverware, utensils, ignore all that. And then down here, I'll just show you, I just have like my pots and pans, my crock pot, my toaster, you know, appliances. So I thought I would just share with you a quick pantry tour, because I get a lot of questions. This is my back stock in here, and some Tupperware. So hopefully this is well lit. In here, I just have some nuts, beans, pasta, rice. These are like a whole food protein bar that was sent to me, and then behind there's some pasta. This is considered my back stock, if you will. I kept a little bit more on hand with 2020 and everything that was happening, but I really don't keep that much in here. I'll kind of just pull this out a little bit. There's really not that much in here. I personally just don't keep a lot on hand because I'm kind of a minimalist. Up here, I do have pasta, rice, a little bit of brown rice, and beans that I this is also back stock. I don't usually use this, but I always make sure that they're full to start the week, and then I don't include those in the meals that I'm making for the week, because again, this is kind of like my back stocks. This is like my emergency food. So between this and what's down there, that's my emergency food for my husband and I. I'll go over that more in a little bit. And then up here, I have like my husband's shelf of everything of his. And then I have, this is more back stock, if you will, or items for the week that we'll be using. Quite a few rows of canned vegetables. I like them because they're convenient. Some different flavors of almonds. And then whatever rice that we are currently using, beans. There's some more beans right there, lentils. There's some hearts of palm. And then up here, this is what I'm most proud of. I will take some of these out to show you. But I actually recycled every single one of these jars can see there's a whole bunch up there. And they were so easy to clean. This one has like a thing on the top, but so easy to clean, made me so happy to recycle them. And then what I did is little bits and pieces. To me, this looks better than having a bunch of random bags of stuff that I'm like, what is this? What is this? Especially my stuff from Nut Stop. I get like my cocoa powder, my Brazil nuts, my chia seeds, my flax seeds from Nut Stop. And this is just so much easier to look through, and it's like space-wise so much more space friendly. So I put everything in jars and I reuse them, and I'll pop up on the screen here how I wash those, but it was so easy. Coming over to this cabinet, there's more pasta, grits, some peanut butter powder, baking supplies, oats. So there's a little bit more back stock in here because I know I have a couple boxes of grits, but this is where I keep my flour and stuff, baking stuff. There's some oil that we never use, but I don't throw away because I don't like wasting stuff. On this side, this third cabinet, there's some tea, more like recycled little containers of chocolate chips. I just feel like this is so much easier to look through. There's some seasonings back there, some yeast. And then same with this. I do have Splenda. I don't use this anymore, but I keep it just in case someone comes to my house and wants some. And then I have some mints, baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch. I'm like, I do need a jar for this because I think that would be so much better. Same with some of the seasonings up there. And then these I'm going to label, but for right now I know which is which, so that's not a big deal to me. But I just have some leftovers, and that's basically it. That's my 3 cabinets. I wanted to quickly say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you really liked it. Give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at Miranda Running on Plants. This Sunday, February 14th, I'm hosting a free virtual 5K for my community over on Instagram. So pop on over there, get the details. You don't have to run. You can walk, you can bike, you can rollerblade, you can scooter. But I just really wanted to do something as a community over on Instagram to get everybody moving for Valentine's Day, for heart health, for just loving yourself. So get over to Instagram, find out the details for that. But I will see you in my next video. Bye.